The GTA 6 map. Out of all of the questions people have regarding GTA 6, the map is probably one of the biggest. What is it going to look like? As many of you guys know, we've been covering the mapping project over the last couple of months, where a bunch of very talented GTA 6 fans are trying to map out the map before we know what it looks like from Rockstar. And the two sources they've been using, of course, are the trailer 1 and the leaks that came out 2 years ago. Well, over the weekend, they had a massive update to this mapping project, and check this out. It added the Panhandle. So that's what we're gonna be taking a look at in today's video, as well as a bunch of other stuff. We're gonna be comparing this new map to all of the other Rockstar related maps. And I'll actually show you guys why the Panhandle is now speculated to be a part of the map. So if you guys enjoy the video, please drop it a like, subscribe for more GTA 6 content. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what the heck's happening with the mapping project. So what is a little crazy is this is where it all started. This was one of the first iterations of the mapping project. And just look how simple it is, how much less there is going on in the map. Compared to now, we have almost like, maybe not all of Vice City, just have a big portion of it filled out. Obviously, much of the beach filled out. And we have a pretty crazy speculative border. This thing has evolved a ton, and I'm sure it'll keep evolving as we, of course, learn more and more information, because as you can see, a lot of the information we know is mainly in the city parts. Obviously, Vice City, that was the main portion of trailer 1. Port Gellhorn, a lot of that is coming from the trailer leaks. But apart from those two things, maybe down in the Keys, there's some information too, again, from the leaks. But up north, there's not a whole lot. Even in the middle of the map and the Everglades, there's not a whole lot of information because we haven't seen it yet. So hopefully in trailer 2, you know, Rockstar can shed some light on that and we can fill out this map even more and get a better idea. But the question I'm sure a lot of people are asking, if you've been following along this mapping project, why is there a Panhandle all of a sudden? Well, I'll actually direct you guys to the creator's post on the GTA forums. He said, the Panhandle is based on 3 different road signs found in the leaked footage, not in trailer 1, but in the leaked footage. And unfortunately, well, you'll actually see the road signs in a second here, but if you want to see the actual footage, you're gonna have to go find that yourself. But he says it could be placeholder textures. So this is, again, just speculation. There was, of course, that bumper sticker I made a video on, but he says that's sort of not really what this is based on. It's really based off of the 3 different road signs found in the leak footage. And here we have the arguments for and the arguments against. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but obviously the 1 and the 4 category, it's there a couple of times. It's not just like a one-off thing. Against it, again, early in development, maybe they just used placeholder signs because, of course, it's the state of Florida, so they're just using similar stuff. They'll eventually change it. Obviously, low quality. Here are the actual signs themselves. And yeah, like very low quality. It maybe is a reach on some of this stuff, but I can see what he's going for, what these people are going for. These signs kind of have a Panhandle-esque shape to them. And these are 3 different signs here, all with the same sort of Panhandle shape. At least this one on the right, it says what, Domed Hills. That's one of the like towns or cities or whatever in the north of the map. I don't know if that would be a placeholder because it's like the sign's already there. And I guess here's just another little piece that shows that, yeah, it could be the Panhandle. So going back to the map, that is why all of a sudden we have this entire big section of the map being added. And one thing I also wanted to bring up was the locations, the real world locations found from the leaks back in 2022. You can see over here on the left-hand side, obviously there's a lot, Maine, Florida. There's even one up in Georgia, but there are a couple of Panama City real world locations that were in the leaks, that were in the game. So maybe some more evidence that we will be getting that Panhandle and maybe whatever their version of Panama City will be in the game. Now, another thing I wanted to bring up, just because it's kind of fun to see, this was one of the mapping projects for GTA 5. And obviously, this is very, very similar to what we ended up getting. Now, I believe this maybe had a little bit more information. Maybe this was after like trailer 2 or trailer 3. So they had a little bit more information to work off of, but you can get an idea. These mapping projects, they end up being pretty damn close to what the game will end up being. Obviously, there's some weird stuff. It's not like it's more of an elongated shape, the actual game. The Alamo Sea, not as short. The right-hand side of the map is a bit different as well. But for just going off of trailers and screenshots, like they did a really good job with GTA 5's map. And that's what we're all thinking and hoping and speculating that this Florida, this Vice City, this GTA 6 map is going to end up being very similar. And one thing I wanted to bring up here is how they are actually doing this, how they're making this, how they're mapping Grand Theft Auto 6. There was a big Reddit post a couple months ago where they did explain how this is all being done, and I'm not going to go through it like super in depth, but the basis of it is these Rage engine units. That's their engine, the Rage engine. All their games are based off of it. And I guess there's these systems of units that they use for measurements. And basically what they did was they took like the buildings and they sort of used these measurements and they mapped it out. So what they ended up doing with trailer 1, for instance, and did this with all the other stuff, but they took all the buildings, put like a real world name to it, and then sort of used the real world locations to map out the map, and they tied it all together. You can see kind of in these pictures here, like it's a very, very complicated process, but apparently they even use like 3D modeling to help out. But yeah, this is how they are making this map. They're using math, I guess, to figure out, all right, well, that's a border, that's a road, right? So I just wanted to point this out because this isn't just coming out of like thin air. Like there's a lot of work going into these mapping projects. And one thing I actually wanted to do is show a little comparison, this new map compared to some of the other maps Rockstar have made. Of course, the big one, GTA 5. And the way these are all being compared is with those Rage engine units. Basically, you just line all of them up, and this is what you get for the GTA 5 map compared to the new GTA 6 map. It is quite massive. I think originally we thought maybe the map was only going to be like 1.5 times the size of GTA 5's map, but this new version is looking almost 2 times, 2.5, maybe 3 times the size of GTA 5's map. I just pray we don't get one of those missions where we have to go from like the top of the Panhandle all the way down to Key West in a slow UPS van or something. That would be absolute pain, because it was already pain enough in GTA 5's map, and you can see, I mean, 2 times the size would be absolutely insane for something like that. But here we have a picture of the new map compared to basically every other Rockstar map. Of course, we have GTA 5 on the left. To the right of that, in the middle, we have GTA 4's map, which is very, very tiny. Up at the top, you have the OG GTA maps, San Andreas, of course, the one in the middle, Vice City on the right. I guess that's GTA 3 on the left. At the bottom, you actually have RDR2's map, which, by the way, that map feels a lot bigger than it actually is. And that's, of course, partly because you're on a horse, not a plane, not a car. But it is kind of crazy to see the scale of that RDR2 map compared to something like GTA 5's map, and even the new GTA 6 map. And at the bottom right, we actually have the Cayo Perico Island, sort of as another little reference. That's not a major island, it's not a big island, but it is very tiny compared to this new GTA 6 map. And yeah, just seeing this scale here, I mean, look, it gets me excited because it looks like, at least at the time being, we're going to have 2 major cities. There's rumors there's going to be a third one. But right now, there's 2 here. We have Port Gellhorn on the left and maybe north of the map, Vice City on the south right side of the map. You're going to have a lot of open world, like nature areas, it looks like. Of course, the Everglades being one of the bigger parts at the bottom, Lake Leonida in the middle. Then you're going to have that whole top of the map. Maybe that's where you see some of the more mountainous or hilly areas. And since we have the Cayo Perico Island down there at the bottom right, one of the things I'm sort of hoping for is we do get some smaller islands like that off the coast that maybe are a bit different geographically. Like maybe we get a Cuba-esque island with some mountains. I think something along the size of that Cayo Perico Island down there kind of would be awesome, kind of would fit. So there we have the latest mapping project. It's kind of a big update here. Do you think the Panhandle is going to be on the map? Do you think those 3 little signs we saw is enough evidence that there is going to be a Panhandle and that we're going to get this extra kind of big landmass in the north? Thank you guys for watching. Like I said at the beginning, if you did enjoy the video, please drop it a like, subscribe for more GTA 6 content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.